Hi, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Fatherless Sons. I am your host, Wiley, and this is episode 108. On today's show, we will be covering some really good topics that I think I am going to enjoy sharing with you all today. Under Building Your Empire, we'll be discussing how I like to define wealth. I like to give a clear definition of what you can think of when it comes to wealth so that you have something real clear and specific to aim after. Under Couch Time, we'll be talking about being a constant professional at work. And under Fatherless and Famous, I will be revealing episode 108's Fatherless and Famous. So please stick around towards the end so that you can enjoy that reveal at the end. So let's dive right into this episode here and jump right into Building Your Empire. Under Building Your Empire, I wanted to talk about defining wealth. And I want to spend a little time on this because I came up with a way that I found to be very motivational when it comes to thinking about wealth. And sometimes you'll hear people say that wealth means this, wealth means that, and they'll go into spiritual wealth, where they'll go into mental wealth and physical health and wealth in that area. Just to cut to the chase, we are talking about financial independence. We're talking about financial freedom and finances when it comes to how I'm describing how you should define wealth tonight. Okay. So when it comes to defining wealth, you're going to have some people talk about being rich. You're going to have some people talking about middle class or the one percenters. You're going to hear all kinds of things tossed around regarding this word, being rich or being wealthy. So I like to see being rich different from being wealthy, and I see them as a clear difference. This is how I define being rich. Now, being rich means you earn enough income from your job to live the kind of lifestyle that you want to live and provide for all of your responsibilities, whether it's your family, whether it's your spouse, your children, whoever it may be, your parents, but you're able to take care of all of your obligations and live the kind of comfortable lifestyle in the neighborhood that you want to live in and do the things that you find enjoyment in. That means you're able to take the vacations you want to take, you're able to drive the kind of car that you want to drive, and you're able to buy the things that you want to buy and still have plenty of money left over. I like to describe that as being rich. Now, using that description, a lot of you watching this video will say, well, LaShawn, based on that, I'm already rich and I don't feel rich. I think you'll never be satisfied or feel like you have enough because we are always looking at the Joneses. We're always looking at the person next door or across from us who seems to be living a richer, more fuller lifestyle than we are, a more luxurious lifestyle than we are. But like I said, if you can do all of those things that I just described, you are in fact living a rich lifestyle. Now, living this rich lifestyle, you'll also have the ability to stash money away for a rainy day because part of budgeting is making sure that you have some money saved up. So when times get hard, let's say you lose your job, you need some months saved away, at least 3 at the minimum, 3 months of your monthly expenses saved away. So what this looks like in real life, if you have $3,000 of expenditures every single month for all of your bills, including your rent, your light bill, your gas, your entertainment, etc., whatever your lifestyle requires, however much it costs for you to do that, let's just say in this example, it's $3,000. If you have 3 months saved up, then you have $9,000 that you have access to. This way, if you were to lose your job, you have 3 months of savings saved up so that you can continue to live your exact same lifestyle before you have no choice but to get another job to replace your income. So in this example, I like to say that you have 3 months of wealth saved up because you can live 3 months that same rich lifestyle without having to replace your source of income. Now, some people have 6 months saved up. Some people have even 9 months saved up, but regardless of how much time is saved up, that represents how many months of wealth you have saved up or stashed away. Now, just imagine for a second that instead of having to replace your job in 3 months because you have 3 months of wealth saved up, let's just say you never had to go back to work. You never had to go back to work to replace your income. So now you have infinite wealth. So in my eyes, I like to define that as being wealthy because you no longer rely on your employment to pay all of your monthly expenses. So where does this money come from, LaShawn? One might ask. It comes from your passive income sources. On a previous episode, I spoke about money presses. Money presses is something that you're just going to invest a lot of money in, and it's going to spit money out to you every single month or every single quarter. An example of a money press is income property. You put up a lot of money up front to buy income property, but as long as you own it and take care of it and keep it rented out, that income property is going to spit money to you every single month. And I tell people, from your job at your 9 to 5, you want to use that money to buy your money press and use the money produced from your money press to buy whatever else you want. Okay, so you spend crazy on that money press because that money press is going to keep producing money every single month. Now, once you understand this and look at it from this perspective, all you have to do is come up with enough passive income to pay all of your monthly expenses. On a previous episode, we talked about budgeting. So everyone watching this by now should already know how to figure out what their cash flow is, figure out what their budget is, and most importantly, figure out what their monthly expenses are. If your monthly expenses are $5,000, then you need $15,000 to get you 3 months to live that same rich lifestyle. And you need at least $5,000 of passive income being generated every single month in order for you to cross that threshold from being rich to being wealthy. It's a very liberating feeling to cross that threshold. And everyone watching this, if you're not there, you can get there by making sure that you use your money in an efficient way to buy things that generate more money. Don't spend your money on thrills and frills and going out to eat and buying things that will eat up your cash and not give you money back. You want to buy income generating assets that will produce income and bring money back home, not buy things that will take money from you. Like an automobile is something, yeah, you use it to go to work, but it is still a depreciating asset that takes money away from you. Okay. So that is how I like to define the difference between being rich and being wealthy. And when you look at it that way, it actually motivates you. It motivates you and it drives you to create and get those sources of passive income and build up those sources of passive income to exceed your monthly expenditures. Once you do that, you finally cross that threshold. I remember when I first crossed that threshold, and it was such a liberating feeling. There's no feeling better than it, in my opinion, because you're responsible for you and yourself and your family will always be taken care of, and you won't have to basically worry about money anymore. So start working on your passive income sources so that you can build those sources up, that revenue up every single month so that it can exceed your monthly expenses. Okay, so let's jump to our next segment, which is couch time. And today's conversation on couch time is focusing still on people who are working a 9 to 5. So on this session of couch time, I want you to relax and hear me out when I talk about how you express yourself in the workplace and how you behave outside of the workplace during work functions. It's very important that you keep your source of income, because if you're using your money to buy your money press, you need that money to continue to flow every single month. If you get fired, that will be a serious disruption when it comes to you building up enough cash to buy your money press. So you need to keep your job. No matter how unhappy you might be at your job, you need to keep it. You need to do enough to keep your job and to stay in the good graces of the bosses. Now, if you're seen as a person who is slacking, who is not contributing, who is not seen as an asset to your company so that they see a reason to hold on to you, then your time might be, limited on how long you're going to stay at that job. So you have to take care of that job. You have to invest in it. Now, I can already hear a lot of people in the comments saying, well, why should I work my fingers to the bone for a company that just wants me for the labor that I produce? They don't care about me. I said this before and I'll say it again. So what that they don't care about you? You are there to earn a paycheck so that you can buy your money press. Okay, focus on that and always be a professional. So when the time comes where you're unhappy at work, maybe they come out with a new policy or a new procedure or a new product that you simply don't like and you can't stand it. And it means more work for you and you don't understand why you have to even believe in this product. Your behavior on how you respond to something that is unfavorable to you is stored in the memory of all your bosses. Even if they don't walk up to you and give you a hard time, that doesn't mean they didn't log how you was dis- how you were disgruntled about the rollout of an important product to them. So always be on your best behavior, whether you're in the job being told to do something that you don't really want to do, or whether you're at a Christmas party or a holiday function at the job. You don't get drunk and just act a fool and misbehave, because, like I said, those are the things that get people fired. For me, it is important for you to keep your job, and so that you're able to pay for your money press. Do not lose your job. If anything, get promoted at your job. So do what you have to do to keep your job, cooperate with the boss, be a team player, show up on time, get along with your colleagues at work, provide great service, do what it is that you need to do to be a great performer. I'm not saying you have to be the best of the best of the best. I'm just saying you need to do what it takes to preserve your job. Okay, so let's jump right into our very final segment of the day, which is Fatherless and Famous. So today's episode, Fatherless and Famous, is someone that I really enjoy as an entertainer. So without any further ado, today's Fatherless and Famous is Eminem. To me, he's one of the most lethal, lyrically lethal rappers on the planet. And this guy is just beyond talented. All right. He's really good with, his songs and creativity and double entendres on how he put his lyrics together. So let's talk a little bit about Eminem. His father's name was Marshall Mathers, and he left Eminem's life when Eminem was only 18 months old. He abandoned Eminem and Eminem's mom, Debbie, when Eminem was just a toddler. Okay. He stayed out of Eminem's life his entire life and never really tried to build a relationship with Eminem, and Eminem didn't really try to build a relationship with his father either. And there's a lot of bad blood and bitterness behind the absence of Eminem's father. Now, in the year 2000, his father did try to come back into his life and made an attempt that didn't go anywhere whatsoever to try to, re-enter Eminem's life, but Eminem wasn't having it. He was just like, nope, you abandoned me, you abandoned my mom, I don't know you, you don't exist, basically. Now, in 2019, Eminem's father died of a heart attack at the age of 67. So they never reconciled their relationship. And sometimes it happens like that. I understand that because I have a similar, situation, growing up as well, never patched up with my father. So that's a pain that runs deep when a son or even a daughter does not have their father in their life, especially after success is found. And, it's hard to accept a father back into your life and they only show up when you find success, because you can't help but to wonder how authentic are their efforts now that they're showing up on your doorstep and you have found success. So I can't say that I blame Eminem for not wanting to rebuild that relationship after he was very successful as a rapper. So let's talk about Eminem's net worth. Eminem, he has done pretty good, not too bad at all. Eminem's net worth as of 2026 is $250 million. $250 million. That's a really good payday. Yeah, not bad at all. Good job, Eminem. Good job. Continue to be a great entertainer and continue to fight the good fight out there, Eminem. And it's wonderful to see that you found success, regardless of the fact that you grew up in a fatherless home. I want that to be an inspiration to all of the fatherless sons out there and daughters who are working on their own set of obstacles that they're overcoming. Continue to look at the people that I highlight on this show and know that if they can do it, you can too. And I'll leave you guys with this before I wrap. If you have not had a chance to take a look at the book that I published last year in 2025, Echoes of a Fatherless Son, please go ahead and pick it up. I'll show a cover of it on the screen right there. You can find it on Amazon in 4 different formats, including audiobook. The audiobook was read by Doug Eisengrind. He did a great job. It's a complex piece of work to read because of the dynamics of the characters that are in the book. So he did a great job. So if you have a chance, go ahead and pick up a copy. I would really appreciate the support. Go ahead and give a thumbs up and like this video. And if you haven't already, subscribe. I can use all of those positive attributes whenever you're able to do so, if you're comfortable doing so and if you like the material that I deliver. Until next time, you guys have a good one.